Losing semi-finalists will have to shoot off for the bronze medal. Time for compound men's individual semi-final #1 here at the 2023 Hyundai World Archery Championships in Berlin on the Olympic Plaza. Korea to face Poland in this first semi-final.
On target #1, representing Poland.
Aufstellung 1 für Polen,
Lukasz Przybylski. On target #2, representing the Republic of Korea.
Aufstellung Nummer 2 für die Republik Korea,
Kim Jongho. The line judge for this matchup is
die Kampfrichterin für dieses Match ist
Nasreen Kashkai.
Well, Lukasz Przybylski came through his semi-final with a 1:48, shooting fantastically. Kim Jongho shot a 1:49, also on great form. Difficult to call this one, but Chef, got a funny feeling about Kim Jongho today. He just looks like he's here for gold and nothing else.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think Kim Jongho is a bit more resilient maybe against the stress that's bound to be on their shoulders right now. Even though yesterday we saw that Przybylski also really can deal with it well. So this is going to be a good match, I think.
Have some of that, says Kim Jongho. A nerve-settling first arrow for him. Not so bad from Przybylski either.
Oh, he looked a bit surprised with how that shot went off, but it couldn't have been much closer to the center, actually. Again, a very stark contrast in their techniques. You can see the low bow shoulder of Kim Jongho. Very smooth and controlled technique. Not too much muscle tension. And then when we look at Lukasz Przybylski, he kind of raises his bow shoulder. His arm is all stretched. His hand is all tensed. The thing with compound archery mostly is as long as you're consistent in what you're doing, it's gonna work. And with recurve archery, it's I would say more important to have a clean technique and not to have any really weird stuff, because it's gonna one thing in your technique with recurve archery can alter many different things in your shot.
Yep.
Whereas with compound archery, because you don't have to pull through a clicker, because you don't have to release the string with your fingers, muscle tension is not as much of a big deal.
Doesn't play as big a factor. Well, that 9 may be playing a factor and maybe playing on the mind of Przybylski. The Korean with a 1-point advantage after the first end. These two have met only once before, and that was at the 2019 World University Games in Naples, Italy, where Kim Jongho won that particular match. Records, when they are so slim, perhaps don't make such difference, but also the 4 years since their last meeting, they may not even remember it.
Yeah, and a couple strange years in between as well, where not many competitions were shot.
Well, World Archery had its lockdown knockout tournament during those dark days.
10.
There's all sorts of funny stuff going on there.
Yeah. As I said before, I feel like Rio is really good at when he's standing in the coaching box, just simplifying the process. What we just heard him say was just focus on the middle and execute. Essentially, that's what everybody should do. But sometimes it's good to get a reminder if you're standing on a finals venue and you're overcomplicating things in your head.
10, 10, 10, perfect score.
Give me one more really good shot. Put that focus in the middle and just execute. Just extend. Good, strong shot.
10, 10, 10, and that is a perfect score.
There's only 1 point between them, but you can see if you look at their target faces how much smaller that group is by Kim Jongho. It doesn't have to mean anything for the outcome of the match, but it does give you an idea of the difference in level they're shooting at right now in the first two ends.
Yep, the accuracy just a little bit better. But the pole here, Przybylski, still in the match. He's still in this one. Kim Jongho hasn't gone running away with this one, despite shooting a perfect 30 again for the second time in a row.
Yeah, and he's shooting really small and really tight groups as well. There's no arrows where it's really close to the edge. Whereas if you look at Przybylski, it's just not as tight of a group. But if he manages to keep shooting, well, he doesn't have to shoot X's. If he keeps shooting normal 10s and stays close to Kim Jongho, maybe he can rack up that tension a bit and get him to shoot a couple of 9s.
Champion of the world and a gold medal to boot.
Kim Jongho keeping Rio Wild entertained at least with his performance so far. 2 10s, 4 X's for the Korean. Lukasz Przybylski of Poland to shoot first in the third end.
And a good look at that raised bow shoulder that I was talking about earlier. You can see his left shoulder is way higher than his right shoulder. And again, not necessarily a bad technique, but it's not really textbook either.
Nine.
An opportunity.
10.
I think he heard you talking about his group. He got miffed and he's decided, here you go, chef, I'll put them both right next to each other in the middle of the target.
It made him a bit angry, it seems.
10.
But it's also what I was saying before, that even though the group of Kim Jongho is so much tighter, it doesn't have to mean anything for the outcome of the match, as long as Lukasz manages to shoot a couple 10s. And this is the tightest group that we've seen so far, I think, today.
So now, Kim needs 10 to remain on level terms, and he gets just that. So we've got 89 plays 89, 6 arrows left per archer. We knew that if Przybylski stayed in this, he was going to have a sniff at some point. Here's the opportunity.
Here it is indeed, and I mean, he must be thinking about that world title now that he has gotten back into this match. It seems like he has a mission in his head. He doesn't seem like he's celebrating small victories. He's just like, okay, that was one step closer to the goal, rather than thinking, oh, I shot a 30. So interesting to see.
Yeah, that is for sure. All square going into ends 4 and 5. Kim Jongho only shot 1 9, but now is on level terms with Przybylski, who shot his 9
Which of the
his
two is going to get the
second
upper hand?
arrow of the match.
Some approval there from his coach, Piotr Piatek. Piotr Piatek probably has the strangest bow arm that I've ever seen, but from what I understand, he's broken it once or twice. And for the interested people, you can do a image search on the internet and look at his bow arm, because it's quite strange.
10.
Another mini shock there for Kim Jongho, but it's gone in the 10.
Zero.
Keep doing what we do every day. Nice, good, solid shot, buddy. Put that focus in the middle and just execute.
10.
Again, it doesn't matter how close you are to the X-ring, as long as you're within the 10 ring, they score just the same.
This is turning into an absolute thriller here. Men's semi-finals, door open by Kim Jongho with that 9, just dropping low. Can Przybylski take advantage?
10.
Just clipping the line, and for the first time in the match, the pole has gone into the lead here. Is that story going to continue here for Poland?
Taking pole position in this match.
Oh, you know what? I stayed away from that. You've gone and spoilt it for everyone, haven't you, Chef?
Yeah, that's my job.
He's in the box seat, that's for sure. He's in the driving seat, that is for sure. So you were saying to go and do an image search for the Polish coach?
Yeah,
What's his name again?
it's Piotr Piatek. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but his it looks like his arm is broken when he's shooting. It's really.
For those of you with a delicate composition, I can tell you that Chef's just shown me a picture of the Polish coach. I urge you not to go and look at it, because it looks like his bow arm is pointing in the wrong direction halfway down. It's a
That's
very
a
strange.
pretty good description, yeah.
But yes, the pole is in the leading seat right now, and Poland have been the surprise package, I think it's fair to say, with all the greatest respect to them, of course.
Yeah.
I think they'll admit they weren't expecting to make the final of the men's team competition yesterday, and they did it and won the gold.
And now all of a sudden, he has a really good chance of adding one to his collection.
10.
So now we see the determination of Kim Jongho. He knows that it's sort of out of his hands here, but he's got to put pressure on Przybylski with big scores.
10.
Good, strong shot right here. Put that focus in the middle and just execute. Good, strong, solid shot.
10.
Focus, execute, and shoot a strong shot. That's what his instructions were.
Wild keeping it simple, but so is Lukasz Przybylski.
Focus in the middle and just execute. Good, strong shot.
10.
Finishing with another perfect, his third of the match for a 1:48, a 10 for Przybylski to make the gold medal match here at the World Championships. Oh, what a finish from him! Four perfect ends for Lukasz Przybylski, and he goes through to the gold medal match with a 1:49, keeping the Polish dream alive here in Berlin.
Final arrow, and he will be shooting for gold here in Berlin.
Und das war eine herzliche Umarmung zwischen den beiden Schützen. Faire Gratulation. Lukasz Przybylski aus Polen.
Well, it looks like Kim Jongho's taking it in the right fashion. He knows that he's got to come back out here shortly to shoot off for bronze, so keeping his spirits as high as possible. But what about this Polish team?
Yeah, super impressive. He has seen his teammate lose that quarterfinal. Wasn't phased by that, and he just made it into the gold medal match. But it seems like even though he heard that he was into the gold medal match and he realized, he was still like, okay, that's another step closer. He wasn't celebrating outrageously, I would say.